So, in the summer of 2015, my mom and I went to Las Vegas, Nevada. And as everyone knows in Las Vegas, what happens there stays there. But this is a story that probably should stay there. I like telling it anyway because it's absolutely insane. So, we went on this tour called the High Roller. My mom had a Groupon and we could ride one whole revolution of the wheel. During that revolution of the wheel, we could have as many drinks as we want. Because the High Roller, it has these huge pods that people could just sit in and do whatever they want. It's enormous. But what we did on the High Roller was drink. And mind you, Las Vegas is in the desert. It's a very hot place. Drinking is probably not the best idea, regardless of the fact. Nicely air-conditioned in most of the buildings in Las Vegas. We went on the High Roller anyway, and I don't really remember what drinks we had. I think I had 2, or my mom had 2, and I had 1, or maybe we both had 2. But they were pretty strong drinks. They were small, so the bartender knew that the revolution of the wheel would not last forever, so I guess she wanted to make it a good time. Other people were smart. There were several other people on this pod. They had 1 drink and they're like, can I have water instead? Which is what my mom and I should have done, but instead we kept drinking. Just those 2 drinks that were really strong. I think we had like a Coke and rum and maybe a mojito, but they were in these really small cups, you know, like the typical plastic cups that you would get for travel purposes. But yeah, they're maybe about this big. Still really small. However, I don't know if you saw it, this big. Still really small. However, we had those drinks, and once the revolution was over, we were starting to feel really tipsy. We were coming down, and I don't think either of us knew that we were as drunk as we were. There was this one other guy on the High Roller, and he said, I hope you guys get back safely. And I said, you know, I hope we do too, because actually this is our last day in Las Vegas, and we have a flight to catch tonight. Well, so if I could draw a diagram of what happened that night, it's pretty crazy. When we were leaving, my mom was walking ahead of me, and she was sort of stumbling, and I kind of felt that way too. And I know that we just came back on this long tour, this hiking tour, all around Yellowstone, or no, not Yellowstone, it was Grand Canyon. And we were pretty tired. We hadn't gotten that much sleep, but you know, it was sort of our last day, so we wanted to make it count, and we decided to go on this High Roller trip for that purpose. So we were pretty tired, and we were in the heat, but I guess in our drunken state, we didn't even think to go to any of the buildings that had air conditioning in it. So we kind of just walked around the building, and there was a little staircase right by where the service would use to lift things up. It was a very small, short staircase, but we would just sit there to rest, and then all of a sudden, I was shook awake by some police officers who had parked right there. And I was just like, what the heck is happening right now? Why are we here? How long have we been sitting here? I just still don't know the answer to that. But, these police officers were telling us, you guys can't sit here, how are you right now? How are you doing right now? Are you drunk? And I was like, kind of. And my mom was passed out, and the police officer tried to shake her awake, and she kind of just vomited all over the stairs, and I was like, oh my god, my mom is going to die. She's too old for this, maybe. I don't know if she is or if she isn't, but it's really bad. She probably should not be doing this. And I regretted everything that very moment. I just wished we'd stay inside the hotel, the Luxor Hotel, where we were staying for our last night, and we just walked around all day, just did some shopping. But unfortunately, we have this High Roller drunken experience. And this isn't to say that the High Roller is bad at any point. It's a really fun not roller coaster. It's a really fun Ferris wheel. We have these amazing views of Las Vegas that I have definitely taken pictures of in my drunken state, and I can show them to you throughout my video, which I will. So at that very moment, I looked at my phone and I realized we had to take a flight soon. It was still pretty late in the afternoon. It wasn't dark yet. So my mom and I separated at that very moment. The police officers called an ambulance and they took her to the nearest hospital. And I said, oh my god, we have to catch a flight at around 11:30 tonight. Our luggage is in the hotel at Luxor, and can we please pick that up before we go? And then the officers were like, okay, here, we're gonna call you a cab. And I thought they were gonna pay for the cab. Unfortunately they didn't, but that's okay. And the cab came and brought me to the hotel, and I was literally one of those wheelchairs that all the unstable people after a night of partying go sit in. And they were wheeling me around throughout Luxor, and I was just like, hey, guess what, I'm drunk. But I wasn't very happy, I guess. But they wheeled me to the room, the storage room where they held all the luggage, and I got my luggage, and I went to the hospital where my mom was, and I hung out there for a while, and I think maybe a couple hours to 3 hours passed. I don't really remember, but I kept asking if I could see her, and the people at the desk were like, you can't see her. So I was just walking around, not really as drunk as I was earlier, and freaking out, thinking it's close to 11:30, we're gonna miss our flight, we are going to miss our flight, this is really bad, my mom's gonna kill me. But her health is important, so whatever the medics say, I think I should follow them. So I didn't bother my mom until pretty close to the point where it was almost time for her flight. Like, we should have boarded a while ago, or even just checked in a while ago. And my mom texted me saying, where am I? And I was like, hey guys, my mom just texted me, so I think she's okay, can I go see her? And they're like, oh yeah, fine, just go in and see her. So I ran through the doors, and I looked for my mom, and she was there, and she was like, we have a flight to catch. I told her I got our luggage from the hotel, and then we left the hospital, and then we got into a cab, and we told him, we're like, get us over there immediately, we have a flight to catch. We were supposed to have checked in an hour ago, or something ridiculous. And the guy was like, listen, it's the dead of night, I don't want to do this. I mean, I want to do this, but you better tip me a lot for calling me all of a sudden and then telling me to go. So we went there, and then we went to the airport. We missed our flight. So we just stayed there for a while, tried to book a new flight the next day, and we had to go to all of these random connecting airports to finally reach back to New York City. And it was absolutely crazy. But I tell this story to everyone about how crazy a night in Las Vegas can get. And that's the last time we've gone. I think it was just last year, but it was, I don't know. Whenever it gets this hot out nowadays, like 80 degrees, 100 degrees I think it was, over in Las Vegas, in the deep, deep desert of a city, and my mom says, let's go drinking. I tell her, no, we cannot go drinking because of what happened that day. And she's like, man, but still, that's basically, that's what happened in Las Vegas. Maybe we'll go back. Maybe I'll go back. I don't think we'll ever drink there again, unless we're in a really, really safe, air-conditioned spot. But yeah, hope you enjoy this story. I'll hopefully be posting some more stories about my past travels as well as my future travels. I will be going to Italy at the end of October, which is very soon, so look out for maybe more videos and more posts about that. I know I'm very behind on everything that I've been posting. I'm starting to catch up again now that I have this free time. So again, feel free to leave comments or answers to the questions I asked to no one on my blog post. It would be great to hear from you if there's anyone out there. So thanks. Have a good day.